विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियां, आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियां, एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज.
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Anuradha Kunte, Yeralawani Community Radio, Sangli, Maharashtra.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज, की आवाज.
Welcome all. You are listening STEM Popularization Podcast. We all are well aware of the importance of nutritious diet in regular basis. And if our food is lacking in any nutrition or micronutrient, then we may suffer by some body disorder or diseases. So, how we can understand the importance of metal ions micronutrient in our diet? Friends, let's meet Dr. Prasad Kulkarni today. Dr. Prasad Kulkarni completed PhD in chemistry from Pune University. He joined Agharkar Research Institute, Pune in 2008 and working on nutrition-related areas, especially such as role of copper in Alzheimer and role of iron in anemia. So let's welcome Dr. Prasad Kulkarni to elaborate on role of metals like copper and iron in diseases of Alzheimer or anemia. Dr. Prasad Kulkarni.
It is important to understand how these metals are handled in our body, copper, iron, zinc, and how they are put to use for useful function, and how we can correct them when there is deficiency or excess of disease. In my lab, I work both on copper in Alzheimer's disease, because Alzheimer's disease nowadays is very important disease because there is a high life expectancy. People live more than 70 years, 80 years nowadays compared to previous generation. So there is a lot of forgetfulness, dementia happening in the older age. Similarly, there is a lot of malnutrition, undernutrition in younger population, especially in slum areas in cities or in rural areas. So we don't get these metal ions enough, especially iron is not good enough in our diet. Children, pregnant women face problem with anemia, while affluent people have problems with Alzheimer's disease where the life. So I prefer to work on both these aspects, where the basic mechanism of how metals are, copper and zinc are handled in body is common. So that is my expertise. So this is useful for all kinds of status of human being, older, younger, children, pregnant women, all people are covered in, all require metal ions for their survival. When I started working, there was not much information about how copper is affecting patients with Alzheimer's disease. My research basically in Pune described how copper generates oxidative stress, something that is called how put body or brain into stress, and how the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease are exaggerated or increased. So we show by systematic experiments and laboratory methods using rats also, animal studies also, there is a lot of copper, there is problem with Alzheimer's disease patient. If you remove copper effectively from your body using herbal products, using organic drugs, if you remove copper, then the patients are relieved. So there is little bit relief to patient, But you have to remember that Alzheimer's disease, once it is onset, it is irreversible. So it does not cure completely. But we are working on how earlier we can detect. In case of anemia, you know that we are eating a lot of food nowadays. But simultaneously, we are eating a lot of junk foods. We are forgetting eat tomato, lemon is not there. Green leafy vegetables people don't like nowadays. Enough proteins are not there in that. So ultimately, it results in anemia. In children, especially school-going children, adolescent girls who are entering into puberty, they have menstrual problem, blood loss, and there is a lot of anemia occur. Subsequently, when they go for, like in their later life, when they go for pregnancy, then there is problem in the next generation. This is affecting not only this generation, but the next generation. The problem with Alzheimer's disease is worldwide, but problem with undernutrition, malnutrition, it is basically underdeveloped country and developed economies like India, Brazil, to some extent China also. In fact, whole world is going through what is called a nutritional transition. The food habits are changing. So we are not getting enough nutritious food also. That is almost a global problem, but it is more difficult to tackle this when there is undernutrition or malnutrition. So this is what India falls into category. Similarly, our neighboring Asian countries, South Asian countries, Africa, Brazil are also affected by undernutrition, malnutrition. We all know that India is not very good in like what is called as the global hunger index. We are probably 94, 97 in 2020. We may have improved in the last couple of years, but still we have far way to go. If we look at only feeding population in terms of calorie, it is not good enough. We have to fortify micronutrients, vitamins to our population, especially Indian population. So we have a long way to go, but government is taking good steps forward to understand this problem and tackle this problem of micronutrient deficiency in our population. I'm also part of what is called a midday meal program of state government, where there is almost 1 crore of students, school children are benefited in Maharashtra state only. About 90,000 schools are involved. So last year we had a special committee, we had special funds, how we can innovate the food supply to this lunch or midday meals, what we can supply, how we can supply. So I was part of that committee and we come up with couple of recipes that, in very simple tricks, include lemon, include tomato, include vegetables, include egg, at least once in a week egg to these school going children so that they have these micronutrients are supplied to this. So we can tackle this in simpler way.
You are listening to STEM Popularization Podcast. Friends, we are well explained on the importance of excess or lack of metal ions in our body and how they affect with Alzheimer or anemia. So now, Dr. Prasad adding on the products of his research and participation of our industries to get this product to us. So, Dr. Prasad, please tell us more on this line.
We are doing very good basic research and clinical research on this in India because we are the people who are facing it and we are capable enough in understanding the problem. So we are doing really good in terms of research. We have developing new food, we are developing new technologies, we have system, our hygiene is improving. So we are tackling is good enough. Only thing is we have to, when it comes to nutrition, most of the people in India are eating rice or wheat as a staple food. We need to fortify that with micronutrients and then we can tackle effectively this problem of undernutrition and malnutrition. We have recently shown that some of the herbal products also like Tinospora, which is used for fever, and government has also promoted Tinospora in a larger way, can reduce anemia in girls. So our research has shown. Now the product is already available. We have campaign or we are publicizing our research so that whenever people are supplementing iron, they can also supplement some of the anti-inflammatories like Tinospora to the patients. That is one way. Secondly, as I told, I'm also part of midday meal where we can play a big role. Probably I'm included in the committee because I understand basic biology. So some people with basic biology understanding are needed to step up, involved into policy making, product making, and that we can effectively tackle the undernutrition problem or malnutrition problem. We have been approached by industry who supply iron, fortificants such as iron powder, iron carbonate, but they cater to bigger industries such as Nestle or Kellogg's who fortify the cereals or, already packed food. This kind of research requires a lot of participation from societal organizations, self-help group, Mahila Bachat Gat, because and kitchens run by Bachat Gat. Not much of industry because industry, the food is already supplied by government. Food Corporation of India supplies wheat, rice, whatever lentils are required. What requires is a mechanism by which we can distribute or effectively publicize the importance of micronutrients that our institute has done in the past and we are doing now. We have, especially on copper or Alzheimer's disease, I've been working for last 15 years. So we have published in very reputed rank one journal in our areas where copper is important. It's an inorganic chemistry which deals with metal ions. We have published many articles in that. So our lab work on copper is recognized globally. Many experts working on copper, I know them, and they also recognize the importance of our work. We're dealing with anemia, which we are relatively new. I'm only 6-7 years I'm working on that. But we have been lucky to work on all aspects, such as supplementation of food to children. We have been doing basic research in lab as well as in lab and animals also. And we have been also in policy making. A diverse profile I have covered in nutrition related to iron, anemia. I would like to continue that. Although we have not published many papers, we have published about 5-6 papers, but not very impactful. But this research is mainly to the society rather than basic research.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad, for being with us on STEM Popularization Podcast.
आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Anuradha Kunte, Yeralawani Community Radio, Sangli, Maharashtra.